Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. This video is nonprofit and educational and thus tips the balance in favor of fair use. Claiming any copyright infringement would be false and thus illegal. For many people, the Japanese drive fishery is appalling on every level, and there is a popular call for a worldwide end to the hunting of cetaceans for any purpose. Over the years, filmmakers have been applauded for bringing to light the knowledge of dolphin slaughters. The 2009 documentary The Cove helped to further mainstream this issue and took the film festival circuit by storm, garnering dozens of awards, a theatrical release, and the praise of movie critics around the globe. Its crowning achievement was the Academy Award for Best Feature Documentary. The filmmakers meticulously documented their efforts to infiltrate the tight security of the dolphin-killing cove and crafted a heart-pounding account of their quest for footage. They also provided an impressive review of the inner workings of the International Whaling Commission and the issue of toxic mercury levels in whale and dolphin meat. However, upon closer examination, there were apparent inconsistencies in the film regarding its portrayal of dolphin parks worldwide and their alleged link to Japan. This video provides a fact check in reference to specific claims made by individuals featured in the Cove, statements made in both the documentary itself and in interviews regarding the project. Upon further review, these statements appear to be deceptive and apparently aimed at convincing viewers not to patronize aquariums, zoos, or marine parks displaying dolphins. The filmmakers of The Cove claim a direct link between going to SeaWorld or swimming with captive dolphins and the slaughter of dolphins in Japan. It can be argued that misleading viewers into assuming that interacting with captive dolphins is an endorsement of dolphin killing is irresponsible. Many believe this topic deserves honesty, candor, and factual data if the problem of dolphin kills is to be solved. It does not need hype and trickery to cloud the issues. This video will examine key allegations made by The Cove and allow you, the viewer, to assess the validity of these claims. Let's now review the allegation that the international dolphin aquarium business is responsible for the Japanese dolphin hunts. Listen to the statements made first by activist Rick O'Barry in The Cove and later by Cove producer Fisher Stevens in an interview with ABC News.
When I started out, there were only 3 dolphinariums. Today, it's become a multi-billion-dollar industry. And all of these captures, you help create the largest slaughter of dolphins on the planet.
Why are these dolphins being slaughtered in Japan and
Well,
Cove?
the first purpose is that because Rick O'Barry created Flipper, Flipper spurned on a multi-billion-dollar industry for dolphin parks, swim with dolphin programs. And these dolphins, the good ones, they fetch up to $150,000 each. Now, because of the expansive market for these dolphins, they have tons of boats. They drive hundreds of dolphins in a day into this cove. And they want those prize bottlenose flipper-like dolphins that they can then train and sell all over the world. Because these amusement parks, these dolphin programs are all over the world. The rest of them, they kill for their meat.
These people insist that the aquarium business, quote, helped create the largest dolphin slaughter on the planet. They imply that marine parks provided an incentive among Japanese fishermen to start catching dolphins for sale, suggesting it was a mere afterthought to then slaughter the undesirable ones for food. In using words such as create and first purpose, the speakers are intentionally leading the audience to draw a direct correlation between dolphin parks and killing dolphins. Yet not only do the timelines not match up, the statistics refute this notion too. With respect to timeline, dolphin drive fisheries in Japan date back to at least 1606. As far as we can tell, Japanese dolphin parks began proliferating and acquiring their animals via dry fisheries by the mid-1980s. So, the killing predates aquariums by over 350 years. So obviously dolphin parks did not, in fact, help create the slaughter. But have dolphin parks become the first purpose of the fisheries? Let's check the numbers. Specifically, let's check the total number of dolphins and porpoises directly caught by Japanese fishermen for the year 2007, the very same year the Cove was being filmed in Taiji. In total, 13,170 were caught directly by fishermen throughout Japan. Of that number, 1,239 were caught using the drive fishing technique in Taiji. Of the 1,239 caught in Taiji, 90 were taken into captivity. The rest were killed. So of the 13,170 animals taken by the nation, 90 from a single town were sold to aquariums. That is precisely 0.7% of the national catch. So the question is, can selecting dolphins for aquariums, which represent less than 1% of Japan's catch, truly be the fisherman's first choice when over 99% of the dolphins and porpoises are taken for meat? It certainly appears unlikely. This is not to say that the sale of dolphins to aquariums is not lucrative. Indeed, the maximum price quoted by the Cove at $150,000 per animal does appear to be accurate. Thus, there is little doubt that dolphin fishermen in Taiji earn a heftier paycheck than dolphin hunters elsewhere in Japan. But bear in mind, those other fishermen apparently still find plenty of motivation to kill the overwhelming majority of dolphins without earning a penny from aquariums. But where are these aquariums? The makers of the Cove would have you believe all over the world, complete with a map depicting red lines emanating from Taiji and impacting all over the northern hemisphere, bathing entire continents in red. Take a look.
They're looking for bottlenose dolphin primarily. They're looking for flipper. And so they collect young females, just like we did for the flipper show. And they're flown to different parts of the world.
So just where are these aquariums that purchased the 90 dolphins in 2007? Japan, China, Korea, and Taiwan. But what about the rest of the world? To hear director Luis Sohoyos tell it, most dolphin parks get their dolphins from Japan.
The Cove is about a secret cove in Japan where most of the swim with dolphin programs and dolphinariums get their raw material, their dolphins from.
Despite his claim, it simply isn't true. For example, to date, there are 638 bottlenose dolphins residing in the United States. How many came from Japan? 0. Not one. In fact, investigators cannot find any instance of a single Japanese bottlenose dolphin anywhere in the Western Hemisphere, from Alaska to Argentina. Inquiries have not as yet turned up any instance of a Japanese dolphin in Europe either. So how can the filmmakers incriminate other parts of the world outside of Asia? In the case of the United States, they are incorporating data from the past. 21 years ago, in 1989, 2 bottlenose dolphins were imported into the United States from Japan. 2 other species were also imported that year, 4 Rizzo's dolphins and 3 Pseudorcas. The next effort was a single attempt by one aquarium to acquire Pseudorcas in 1993. The U.S. National Marine Fisheries Service denied the permit to import on the grounds that the aquarium failed to have official observers present in Japan to document and verify that the capture of those animals was humane. As the dry fisheries are clearly and inherently inhumane, that decision effectively closed the doors to the U.S. forever. So that's the last of U.S. involvement in Japanese dry fisheries. Incidentally, 1989 was the last year any dolphins were captured in the United States for aquariums. Why? Had it become illegal? No. The reason that U.S. facilities have not applied for a collection permit in the past 20 years is due to the success of their captive breeding programs. So by reaching back 2 decades in order to include the U.S. on their map, filmmakers create the illusion that the Japanese dolphin fishery is relevant to today's Western aquariums. It isn't. But ask anyone who just watched The Cove, where do the dolphins at SeaWorld come from? And they're likely to tell you, Japan. The filmmakers are bent on perpetuating this myth. Listen to Rick O'Barry's answer to Oprah Winfrey when she specifically asks him, quote, "So the question is, do some of the dolphins captured there end up in theme parks here in the United States?"
So the question is, do some of the dolphins captured there end up in theme parks here in the United States?
Oh, yeah. That's, in fact, in the film you'll see a capture of you'll see about 30 dolphin trainers there capturing dolphins. In some ways, the dolphin hunters know not what they do. They really think they're dealing with fish. So if we can get the dolphin dealers out of Taiji, we can probably shut down the slaughter.
Oprah's question was specific. Do, present tense, not past tense as in did, do some of the dolphins captured there end up in theme parks here in the United States? O'Barry is being dishonest at worst, misleading at best. After exclaiming, "Oh, yeah," O'Barry proceeds to describe dolphin trainers in the film capturing dolphins as though they are from the U.S. They are not. Every one of the trainers in that film is Asian. He insists that if the dealers were to leave Taiji, the fishery would probably shut down.